Well, how good is it when we don't know where to start a fishing report? Whether you're out wide or in the estuaries or up in the mountains, everything is firing this week. So come on board for this week's Boss Outdoor Fishing Report. Well, let's start out wide with the game fishing, and isn't it absolute March madness? We've seen some marlin coming in off bait balls, so they're all hitting the surface. You'll see the birds coming down on the school of bait, and the marlin are feeding from the bottom. If you can race over there in your boat and chuck a livey in there, you watch them eat it. It's great fishing. We've seen our young staff member Logan out there this week. Caught himself a 90-kilo blue marlin. It was about 4-hour fight, I think, so what a catch that is to you, mate. There isn't too many chances that we get on the far south coast to get a grand slam, and now is your chance. If you want to get out there and catch yourself a blue marlin, a black marlin and a striped marlin all in one day, they call it a grand slam. We've seen it happen up and down the coast pretty close to home a couple of times in recent days or recent weeks. So yeah, definitely every chance of getting out there and doing that. Wouldn't that be a great one to tick off the bucket list? Well, the offshore fisherman is absolutely spoilt for choice this week. We've seen some amazing snapper fishing. That colder water, it's just cooled a degree or two in close to shore, which has made that snapper fishing absolutely fire. We've seen some really good fish into that sort of 70+ centimetre range, which we don't see a lot here on the south coast, so it's some great fishing. It's a heap of mowong around too, plenty of nannygai, so if you get up early and get out onto that reef, you're going to catch a great feed of fish there. And the flatty fishing. Hasn't the flatty fishing been absolutely world class? Get yourself out into your normal spot in that sort of 40-metre water range and catch some big fish. There's heaps of flatties between 45 and 55 centimetres, so it doesn't take many of them to fill a nice bag. So the good fishing doesn't stop out there though. The headlands have been fishing an absolute treat. I know I've been trolling them a little bit and there's been heaps of salmon and still some bonito around. But yeah, let's shoot to Ads and see what he's been doing.
I've been fishing off the headlands, a little bit slower on the bonnies because there's a colder current coming up from the south, and so there's still some good bonnies out there, but harder to work for. Heaps of salmon, thick salmon, like big, proper big salmon. You're getting some Taylor, you're getting, my mate got a nice Trevor as well. There is the odd drummer as well, I've heard, and brim as well in the wash. Squid fishing's been pretty good as well. There's been some really good squid fishing out of Kainini, off the wharf at Marimbula, Haycock as well.
Yeah, you're not wrong there, Ads. Probably the best numbers of squid that we've seen for a very long time getting caught at the moment, so definitely worth getting out there and throwing a squid jig around. Also off the beaches, we've had our little mate Joseph has come all the way from Melbourne, a loyal supporter of our fishing report, has come up from Melbourne. He's come and fished Main Beach, and hasn't he come up absolutely trumps. He's got about half a dozen trevally, heap of salmon, heap of fish just off the beach in that Main Beach. So he's come out and chucked a paternoster rig with a yellow surf popper and a bait on the other hook, and the yellow surf popper is coming up trumps more than not. So if you're fishing off a beach, the simple paternoster rig with a surf popper, chuck it in and have a look at some of those fish. If you want to get your share of that beach fishing, just stick with it. The salmon have been absolutely amazing. There's really big fish and plenty of them. So yeah, they've been moving right into the estuary system as well, right up into the top lake too. Have a look at what else has been caught in the top lake.
Another beautiful little dewie up in the top lake on a Daiwa Bait Junkie soft plastic. I'll show you that in a sec, but I'm going to send this one in. And the flaky. That's it.
Cracking catch, Ando. That's a nice dewy. The front's been fishing really well. Round the racks, there's a lot of good brim, blackfish. There has been some good flatties as well around the front. A few salmon here and there, trevally as well. The salmon have been more around Bar Beach and flowing up and down the beach there. Yeah, the Bega River's been fishing all right too. Dave got a couple of brim in there and some whiting. There's always the chance of a Jew in there too. You just got to put the hours in, a lot of casts, and have a crack.
Well, if you've still got a fishing itch to scratch after all that, why don't you head up the mountains? The mountains have been fishing really well. The trout at Yukonbean on the mud eyes are still pretty good. The natives around Canberra, the cod fishing is still spectacular. There's some really good cod getting caught. You can get them early morning, but those big ones seem to come later at night. And the yellows, some really big yellow belly getting caught up there as well. And if that's not enough for you, what about going to chase a deer? The rut's just starting and the deer are getting around. If you need any advice on how to catch those natives, don't forget to go into our store up there in Canberra, Boss Outdoor Fish Week. The boys are really in the know up there. Well, that's about all we got for you this week. The weather looks absolutely mint coming into the next 7 days. So I think there's going to be some really good fishing, whether it's out wide or all the way up to the mountains. If you need any advice, whether it's fishing, camping, anything outdoor related, come into Boss Outdoor so we can hook you up.